In the bustling heart of Neo City, as the sun rises over gleaming skyscrapers and streets alive with the hum of daily life, a mysterious green fog creeps in from the horizon, silently enveloping the unaware masses. Jax, a skilled mechanic in his 20s, tinkers away in his garage, grease on his hands and a fond smile for the photo of his sister Lima on the wall. But the fog seeps under the door, making him cough and pause in confusion. Suddenly, on the streets below, panic erupts as the fog triggers a horrifying transformation. People convulse, their skin decaying, eyes turning blood red, rising as mindless zombies lunging at the fleeing crowds, biting and clawing in a frenzy of chaos. Cars crash into each other, shop windows shatter under the weight of the undead horde, and a mother desperately pulls her child from the jaws of horror as the city descends into nightmare. Jax hears the distant screams echoing like thunder, grabs a hefty wrench for defense, and peers out to see shambling figures approaching. He slams the door, barricading it with whatever he can find, as fists pound relentlessly against the metal. Meanwhile, across town, Lena, an athletic teen with a backpack slung over her shoulder, navigates her school hallway when the fog invades through the vents, turning classmates and teachers into grotesque monsters one by one. She dodges a lunging undead educator, snatches a fire extinguisher, and bolts down the corridor in a pulse-pounding escape. At a major intersection, a traffic jam becomes a death trap. Drivers abandon their vehicles as zombies climb over hoods, smashing through glass in slow, terrifying motion. A bus flipping sideways in a cascade of sparks and debris. Bursting from the garage's back exit, Jack sprints through narrow alleys, zombies in hot pursuit knocking over trash cans like dominoes. He bolts a fence, wrench clutched tightly, glancing back with fear etched on his face. Lena, spotting a bicycle amid the rubble, hops on and pedals furiously through the streets, zombies emerging from shadowed buildings with arms outstretched in grotesque hunger. The city crumbles in a montage of despair. Billboards flicker with urgent emergency alerts, helicopters circle helplessly above, and parks once filled with joggers now overrun by the undead in a whirlwind of terror. Jack stumbles upon an abandoned hardware store, arming himself with a crowbar and nails. He battles two zombies in brutal close quarters, swinging with all his might to fend them off before nailing the door shut for a fleeting moment of safety. Lena swerves her bike around overturned cars, a zombie grabbing her backpack. She blasts it with extinguisher foam, watching it stumble and release its grip in a frothy haze. His phone vibrates with a message from Lena: head to the evacuation zone at the bridge. He pockets it, smashes a vending machine for quick sustenance, steeling himself to press on. Zombies flood a subway entrance like a tidal wave, trapping commuters in a nightmarish descent as escalators become battlegrounds of pushing survivors against the relentless undead. Lena raids a pharmacy for supplies, breaking in amid the chaos, dodging collapsing shelves and a half-turned clerk before escaping with bandages in hand. Jax leaps across rooftops, the streets below a sea of groaning horrors. He pries open a skylight with his crowbar, dropping into a deserted office filled with overturned desks and flying papers. Inside, he fights off three zombies with whatever's at hand, a stapler, a chair, smashing through in a flurry of improvised violence. Lena hides in an alley to tend a minor wound, but groans draw near. She climbs a fire escape just in time as a massive swarm approaches. At the bridge's approach, military barricades hold briefly with flashes of gunfire, but the zombies overwhelm, turning the scene into a gruesome melee of fallen soldiers and desperate survivors. Spotting each other on a rooftop, Jax and Lena reunite in a quick embrace, sharing supplies and a determined nod toward the distant bridge before ziplining down on makeshift cables. On the ground, they run side by side, zombies closing in from every angle, weaving through parked cars as Jax clears a path with savage crowbar swings. They discover a motorcycle in a hidden garage. Jax hotwires it in seconds, Lena climbing on back as they roar out, undead claws scraping at the tires in vain. The high-speed chase intensifies, the bike dodging wreckage while zombies leap from sidewalks. One grabs Lena's arm, but she kicks it away, sending it tumbling into the dust. Flashes of the outbreak's origin emerge, a corporate lab where scientists in pristine suits release the fog from vials marked Project Eternal, papers bearing the Neocorp logo scattering like omens of doom. Nearing the bridge, barricades lie breached. Jax crashes the motorcycle through a gap, sliding to a halt amid the fray. In the heart of the fight, they snatch rifles from the fallen, standing back to back to unleash a barrage against the horde, bodies piling up in decayed heaps. A colossal alpha zombie charges, scarred and massive. Jax distracts it with a thrown flare, Lena crippling its legs in a dramatic collapse. They push forward as the bridge shakes from distant explosions, zombies plummeting into the waters below, the horde finally thinning. And a final standoff, the last undead block the evacuation helicopter. Jax hurls his crowbar like a spear into one, while Lena blinds the others with extinguisher spray, clearing the path at last. Boarding the chopper as it lifts off, they gaze back at the burning city, the green fog slowly dissipating under the setting sun, relief washing over them in the fading light of survival.